busting his fist against the stone wall. You're not using your brain. That's what the Frank man wants you to do. Look at you. What makes you ashamed of being black?
Good afternoon. My name is TJ Osiris Debnam, graduated senior at American Baptist College. Today, this recording is for my Race, Film, and Society class, where we've been given the Herculean task to define what is blackness. This can be sometimes a difficult task because of two factors. One, black people never want to sound like we're complaining or we're crying about or whining about the past. Two, for some reason black people, what is blackness has become more difficult to define. Again, I would try my best to define what is blackness. For me, what is blackness is my skin color. You can't look past me and see something else while seeing my skin color. Before you can get to my heart, you see my skin color. Before you find out what my intellect is, you see my skin color. Because of this, it's important to me to understand and to know that my skin color defines who I am. A black man in the USA, it's sometimes hard to really express who I am as far as blackness goes, because sometimes my blackness can scare people and make them feel uncomfortable. And when I say people, I mean our Caucasians, brothers and sisters. My history shapes and defines who I am today. If it wasn't for Shaka Zulu, Hannibal Carthage, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King Jr., it is just so rich and is way beyond slavery. Oftentimes, when black people, when we identify ourselves through history, we say we were once slaves. They can be no further from the truth. We were kings, queens, scholars who became slaves. This color, this ideology or this notion that blackness means it's a curse, or blackness means that all things dark, that no one wants to deal with or no one wants to associate itself with. First of all, when we deal with black absorbs energy, black absorbs color, and when something absorbs, it takes on its characteristics. It's a good thing to be black. Black is beautiful. Black is bold. Black is proud. Black is Jackie Robinson defying the odds. Black is Brother George Washington Carver coming up with many different uses for a peanut. Black is the Moors and how they came in and they saved Europeans from the Black Plague or the bubonic plague. Black is Malcolm X being able to articulate his thoughts as once a former street thug. Black is Martin Luther King Jr. saying, I have a dream. All those things we say, those are black American, or those are black people. It's okay and it's fine to say white, and when you think of white, you think of Julius Caesar. You think of Alexander the Great. You think of Aristotle, Socrates. We even think of George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, Franklin Roosevelt, Theodore Roosevelt. Because again, you can't separate a person's ethnic race from defining who they are. Because those things is what make that person special or make that person who they are. And dealing with what is blackness, blackness is the state that we are in today. Now, again, I'm not dealing with the color sense, I'm dealing with the metaphorical sense. The sense that black is making up an overwhelming large number of inmates in the prison system. Or the fact that most of our black men and black girls, according to statistics, aren't graduating from high school. Or the fact that it's more likely that a child in a black home is going to be raised without his or her father. Now that doesn't mean that we should run or we shouldn't want to be anything less than black. It just means that we have to work harder. We have to fight for not the American dream, but for the black dream. The dream that says that I can achieve. The dream that says that I can do what anybody else can do. And I probably can do it better. In the book, The Destruction of Black Civilizations, by the scholar warrior Chancellor Williams, he quotes, "What became of the black people of Sumer?" The traveler asked the old man, "For ancient records show that the people of Sumer were black. What happened to them?" "Ah," the old man sighed, "they lost their history, so they died." A Sumer legend. That quote or that proverb, it speaks volumes as to what we're faced with today. Because we have no history, or we think we don't have a history, because we have no spirituality, or we think we don't have no spirituality, because we don't have anything that we can call our own, or we think that we don't have anything that's our own, we've become lost. We've become dead, and it's time for us to get up. It's time for us to see that we do have a history. Blackness is the old proverb, "I am because we are." Blackness is community. Blackness is each of us looking out for each other. If you succeed, I succeed. If you live, then I live. How hard this way is. How tough this struggle is. And at times I wonder, why do I do this? Why do I want to put myself through arguing, debating, and perhaps even being locked up or being taken away from my family only to give truth? Well, it's simple. It's because of my blackness. My blackness required me to be true to self and be true to my people. If I'm true to myself, then I won't lie to myself. And if I don't lie to myself, then I can become the best agent of change that the Creator needs me to be. That's why I go through this. And not only myself, but the many great scholar warriors that came before me and that's gonna come after me. It's gonna take men and women like myself to want to lift up the banner of blackness. Because again, when we deal with blackness and we deal with whiteness, we have to deal with it in the totality. We can't separate race, we can't separate ethnicity, and we cannot separate history. Your history says a lot about you. If you don't know where you come from, you don't know where you're going. So what is blackness? Blackness is a way of life. Blackness is a badge that's worn on my skin. Blackness is what I think. Blackness is not being afraid to be black and to be proud. My blackness should not oppress you. My blackness should make you uncomfortable, because this is the skin that God put me in, so I can only do what God wants me to do, and that's to live in this skin proudly. And not to go and try to change myself or conform myself to some society that don't accept me in the first place. What sense does that make? Thank you.